Hey out there, YouTube. This is SEL0320 here for another review. This time I'm doing a review on the movie The Great Gatsby. I actually got a collaboration with my boy, Joe Wizzle, aka Joe Johnson. It's about to get real, y'all. So, me and Joe, we both checked out The Great Gatsby.
Right.
We've got like a lot of different thoughts about it. I'm going to go through the lowdown of how the look of the movie was, how the storyline was, and how the acting was. And me and Joe both gonna put our own spin and perspective of how it was. So, off the gate, we saw it in 3D.
Yeah.
What do you think about the 3D, man?
I don't know whether or not the 3D added or took away from the movie. I think it added because there's some scenes where there's a lot of extravagant, pricey things like diamonds and jewels and
like when the confetti and joints start going. You could actually see it though.
Yeah, so the 3D really kicks in early in the movie when the party scenes are introduced. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I even saw when we were going through like the party scenes, the action scenes, when stuff was really moving, you could tell that this movie was not like up converted to 3D. Like it was actually, I found out it was actually shot in 3D. And so it could show in the difference. Like even with the close-up shots, it looked a lot more sharper. So definitely the visuals for the movie, it just looked really beautiful. They showed most of all New York, right? Was it shot in New York?
Yeah.
So I thought that was really serious. I liked it. Right now we down in NC, coming down from DC. We out in the park shooting the video, but all in all, I just really liked the scope of the movie. It just looked beautiful. Now the sound, what do you think about the sound? Because you all right, I'll give you a spoiler. So up the gate, Jay-Z was one of the ones that actually produced the soundtrack. What did you think about it?
I think it was cool. I think it was cool because, and I feel like there are some tracks in the movie that were kind of remixed to fit the time.
Yeah, I could tell.
But it was really interesting. Really interesting to see a modern feel with the being attached to the past and being applied to the past. You know, and it was really interesting. It wasn't. It didn't mess it up. It didn't seem like it didn't fit.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, for me, the music, I liked the score. It was some parts I was like, is they really playing this song? But then it fit the mold of the scope of the movie, and so I guess it was produced pretty well. The score itself, they used certain songs over and over again. They kind of overlapped it in a way. Like there was one theme song, I forgot the name of it, with the girl singing. But like when the dramatic parts were happening, you could hear this song in the background. It was just really cool. So I really do. I guess I'd probably have to check out the soundtrack later on and just give it kind of a review or look at it later. But anyway, we're going to skip to the acting. So, off the gate, Joe, how'd you feel about the acting?
I felt the acting was brilliant. The young lady, main character, I don't know her name, but she did a really good job. She played her role, and she really get a sense of her being she's very girly. Not being stereotypical or nothing like that, but kind of for that time, in women's position in that time, it kind of fit, you know. So, and also Leo, definitely nailed it, you know. It was more so, not so much his speech, but more so his pose, his poise,
swag.
Yeah, the swag character. So it was great. It was great. And Tobey was. I was proud of him.
He was like the narrator the whole time.
Yeah, but his voice and his execution and some things he said was just right.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I agree on it for that, because basically Tobey McGuire's character, he played for the forefront of the foundation of what was happening with all the different characters. So he was the storyteller in the sense of most of the whole entire movie. But with his character, he was so grounded because he was new to New York when it first started out. He was the type of person that was like intrigued, but like didn't have much. But he also had family that had a little bit. Yeah. And then when he knows about like Gatsby, he was just like, man, who is this dude? And this stuff can't be true. So he was really just curious off the gate. But it played really good as far as his acting level because he went back and forth with different parts of it when he was telling the story and when he was living it. Now, the girl, which she's played in different movies like Drive and all these different kind of movies, but in this role, she played the role really well. To me, I think that, I don't know, man, she wasn't like, I ain't gonna spoil it, but she was kind of Two-Faced. She wasn't Two-Faced. She just acted like she didn't know what she wanted in certain parts of it. And but it showed because to me it showed that she loved him a lot, and she had this level of expectation that everything was supposed to be just given to her, but at the same time she wanted love too. Yeah. And so she was going back and forth with like what she needed or what she thought she needed and then love. Yeah. And that was kind of pulling everybody apart in a sense because everybody was trying to give for her, but at the same time, like they really didn't know what was really inside with her. Right. And she portrayed that really well.
She portrayed it great. You know, because all those things weren't verbalized, but everything you said, you could see literally in her character. You know, and it was very. It wasn't so much fairy tale-y and really over dramatic, but it was very human. You know, very realistic, very, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
I mean, it was
relatable.
Yeah,
relatable.
I mean, you could understand when there's certain parts that happens, and I guess we'll talk about it. We'll get a spoiler section later on. Right. How about that? Like, we'll cut at a certain point. We'll tell everybody. We'll talk about the spoilers. But we'll talk more about that later. So now getting back to Leonardo Dicaprio's character. Well, actually, even the guy that was played Daisy's husband, he played a decent bad guy as well because, I mean, he was from money. He kind of had a problem with women. And those faults in himself made him judge everybody else. And so he was like, he felt as though he was better than everybody. And him and Leonardo DiCaprio's character like went back and forth because of that. So let's go ahead and talk about Leo straight off the gate. Alright, he's played Blood Diamond. Right. He's played Mr. Candy in freaking Django. Yeah. He's played What's Eating Gilbert Grape as a little mentally retarded kid. Inception. But this role, he had swag, man. Like, he literally, every scene you looked at, I mean, especially the beginning, and you didn't see that much of him, you were like, man, who is this dude? Yeah. That's like coming up on the scene, and like everything that he does, it was like an elegance about how he had to do it. He was like presenting himself all the time, 24/7. But then you could also tell, like, man, there's something going on with this dude. He's got like secret security, and they ain't supposed to be back that. What was it, like 1990s? Or no, it was like 1919. I think it was 1920s to like 1980s. Yeah. Or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. I think it was like 1920s. But anyway, for that time frame, to be able to have the type of security that he had around him and the people that he had around him, it was just unheard of. Like, to me, I was like, I don't know who this guy is. The parties that he was throwing, just crazy. And then when you think about his character at the meat of it, and it was just like every role, every scene, it showed like different levels of acting. Because there were certain parts where he was like, you could see in his eyes it was his pain. You could see certain parts where he was just angry. He showed it very well. I think, to me, this is probably one of his better acting roles. He played the part perfectly. Yes. Like, the character itself was defined from the book. So, but so much he can change from the character, but he made it his own. I mean, I can't see anybody else, like, kind of playing that role kind of better than him.
No spoilers, but the first party scene, Leo is just the boss. Like, he's swag, but at the same time, the dude has power, and, like, you can sense, like, this delicate, powerful guy, like, just, it's great. It's great. You're like, wow. I didn't know he had it like that. But you'll be
And you're right. But then, like, his character was relatable in certain senses, too.
Yeah.
Because, like, anybody that works for something, like, you want to keep it, you know? But anyway, we'll talk about that in the story section. All right. Yeah. So I guess for the first part, which we talked about, was the environment. I give that a 5 out of 5. As far as the visual effects, it was just a 5 out of 5. Mm-hmm. As far as the acting level, you give it rating from, like, rated to 5, 1 to 5.
I give it a 5.
All right, so 5 out of 5 for the acting level. All right, so storyline.
Storyline, great.
Okay, you got to explain why to me, why it was so great. In your words.
Well, yeah, I would have to. Well, giving no information about the movie.
Well, I mean, I think I got an idea what you're talking about. It was a lot of meat to the story.
It was a lot of meat, yeah.
And it was meanings, too. Like, it was sitting...
A lot of deep quotes. Oh, my gosh, a lot of deep quotes. Make you think.
No, he's serious. He's very serious about that.
Relatable. Even if, like, I don't know about you, but we're not wealthy, filthy rich, but even though, then it's, like, it's relatable. Because, you know... There's always that person, you know, that you have feelings for. And it's like really a story about passion.
Yeah.
And I think the story for me was like really good because going into it I had kind of like a misconception. I wasn't familiar with the story of the book, but I had a misconception thinking it was gonna be like you know, just drama, you know. Everything goes wrong or everything goes really right. But it was a balance of both of those that seemed realistic, like that could really take place.
Yeah.
And so with that, it was really like it wasn't extreme, like not like no disrespect to Tyler Perry, but like a Tyler Perry drama, you know, everything that could go wrong goes wrong, but not in here. It's really realistic.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, for me, I've never read the book, so I went into it like spoiler free. I didn't know what was supposed to take place, and until we get to the spoiler section, I'm not going to reveal anything. But like from the start of the movie to the end of the movie, I was entertained. From the start of the movie, I was intrigued with the character Gatsby, which is the whole purpose behind the movie. And with his story and what he was willing to actually do and what the things that he did do, they were very great. In spite of everything that happened, like, it was just amazing. So I can't really reveal, like, what happened or why different parts I like, but it was a lot of really good pinpointed quotes that mean something that can resonate inside with you. And every character pulls from each other, like different actions that people make.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, when you make sacrifices for things to keep it, like, you'll go and do anything, you know? And sometimes emotion can be more dangerous than not having emotion. Mm-hmm. Because if somebody gives you something great, you want to keep it, you know? You want to, like, hold on to it, even if it was for 1 second. Like, I think it was this, what song was it from Andy's song? But there was one song that I listened to. It was like, it takes one moment to keep a memory forever, but it takes a lifetime to forget it. I was like, dang. I think Andy Mineo said that, but it plays a role so much in this one because, but anyway, I can't spoil about it. But anyway, we'll give the storyline, and I guess it's really true to the character of what happened with the movie and with the book. So from that standpoint, I give it a 5 out of 5. What you give it?
I give it a 5 out of 5.
Should not a 4 out of 5?
A 5 out of 5. One thing I did appreciate was like how the lighting and the overall mood visually would change with the movie.
You're right.
Know? So that was really cool.
Yeah, because like when something was about to go down, you could tell like, man, the storm was happening. I'm like, yeah. I didn't know if it was like some like magic joint. I was like, magic. Yeah, like seriously. All right, we're gonna cut here, and then we're gonna come back with spoilers. So anybody that does not want to be spoiled, turn off the video now and leave your comments until you look at the movie. All right, we'll be right back. Spoilers coming through.